There is a fundamental principle we must come to understand if we are to live with clarity and inner calms. The world outside of us is not ours to control. The behaviors of others, the weather, the traffic, the words that are spoken to us, the pace of change in society, none of these are within our direct influence. And yet, many people spend their entire lives reacting to these things as if they had power over them. When we resist what is beyond our control, we invite suffering, not because of the situation itself, but because of the internal struggle it creates within us. To realize peace, one must first recognize this simple truth. It is not what happens that disturbs us, but how we relate to it. The same event can cause stress in one person and calm in another. Why? Because it is not the event that holds the power. It is the meaning we give it. Our reactions are not inevitable. They are choices, often unconscious ones. And once we become aware that we are the ones choosing how we respond, we begin to reclaim something very important, our inner authority. This awareness creates a space, a small but powerful pause, between the stimulus and the response. In this space, there is freedom. In that freedom, there is clarity. It is here, in this moment of pause, that we can ask ourselves, what is truly needed right now? Is it anger or understanding? Is it panic or patience? Most people have trained themselves to react impulsively. But just as the body can be trained, so can the mind. With time and effort, we learn to respond with presence rather than react with habit. Taking responsibility for your inner calm means owning that moment of choice. It means no longer saying, they made me upset, or this situation ruined my day. These are habits of speech that reflect a deeper habit of thought, that our peace is fragile and at the mercy of the world. But this is not true. While the external world may provoke, it is our internal interpretation that creates suffering or serenity. And this interpretation is always within our reach if we are willing to pause, to observe, and to choose consciously. This does not mean you must suppress emotion or pretend that pain does not exist. Emotions are natural and they serve a purpose. But even as they arise, you still have a choice in how to hold them. Like a monk sitting beside a fire, you do not have to throw yourself into the flames. You can simply sit, observe the heat, and remain still. To do this consistently is a form of inner mastery. It is not about withdrawal from life. It is about engaging with life in a new way, where you remain anchored even as the storm passes overhead. Many people wait for peace to arrive in their lives as though it were something that could be delivered like a gift wrapped in silence, handed to them by a calm day or a kind word. But peace does not arrive by chance. It is not found. It is made. Inner calm is not the result of life becoming easier. It is the result of becoming stronger, quieter within, regardless of how life behaves outside. Those who wait for peace may wait forever. Those who train for peace begin to carry it wherever they go. We do not expect physical strength to appear without practice. We know that muscle is built through repetition, through resistance, through time. And yet, many forget that the mind is no different. Calmness, clarity, and emotional resilience are mental muscles. If you do not train them, they will not grow. You cannot expect to be calm in a crisis if you have not practiced calmness in stillness. In this way, the discipline of inner calm begins not when things fall apart, but when things are ordinary. That is when the training begins. Discipline is not always dramatic. Often it is quiet. It looks like breathing deeply when no one is watching. It looks like pausing before replying to a harsh word. It looks like setting time each day to be still, even if the world is moving fast around you. These small acts of inner training may not seem impressive, but over time, they create an unshakable foundation. What you practice in peace becomes who you are under pressure. This is the purpose of discipline, not to make life perfect, but to make you unbreakable. There is a beauty in discipline, though it may feel uncomfortable at first. It asks us to show up even when we don't feel like it. It asks us to choose awareness over distraction, intention over impulse. And yet, the rewards are not external. They are internal, subtle, but powerful. The reward is being able to stay calm when others lose their way. The reward is having space between what happens and how you respond. And this space gives you something rare, freedom from the chaos around you. So when people say, "I wish I could be as calm as you," remember, calmness is not something you are born with or without. It is something you build. You wake up each day and choose how to meet the world. You make the bed with care. You breathe before you speak. You notice your reactions, and slowly they change. This is the quiet path of inner mastery. It is not an accident. It is a discipline. And those who walk it do not wait for calm. They become it. There is a moment, a split second, between what happens to you and how you respond. Most people never notice this moment. They are already speaking, already reacting, already caught in emotion before they have even realized what has occurred. This is the danger of unawareness. It steals the power of choice. When you react without awareness, you become a puppet of your conditioning, your emotions, your past wounds, your expectations. All of these take control, and you lose the ability to act with clarity. To live reactively is to live as a prisoner of external events. A small comment can trigger anger. A delay in your plans can ruin your day. A stranger's behavior can decide your mood. When your mind is untrained, everything around you has power over you. You are constantly being pulled, pushed, and unsettled, not because the world is unkind, but because your awareness is not anchored. You are not in command of your inner space. And so the external world dictates your inner experience. Awareness is what returns power to its rightful place within you. When you cultivate presence, you begin to notice the energy rising in you before it explodes. You notice the tension in the body, the rush of thoughts, the subtle tightening of the breath. And in that noticing, you are no longer caught. You have created space. You can choose not to react automatically. You can allow the emotion to pass through you without becoming it. This ability is not weakness. It is power under control. Reacting impulsively may feel strong in the moment, but is often followed by regret. You say things you didn't mean. You act in ways that do not reflect your values. Each time this happens, you give away a little more of your authority to the outside world. But awareness brings alignment. With it, your actions match your intentions. Your words carry weight, not just noise. And slowly, your life begins to reflect something deeper, not reaction, but response born from stillness. This inner shift is not about suppression. It is not about pretending you do not feel. It is about feeling deeply without letting those feelings drive your behavior blindly. It is about standing in the fire of emotion without being consumed. When you learn to observe without reacting, you step into a new level of maturity, one that no longer needs to control others because it knows how to command the self. And in this silent mastery, you begin to walk through the world untouched by its noise. Many people spend their lives waiting for the world to become peaceful before they allow themselves to rest. They say, when the work slows down, I'll relax. When others change, I'll be happy. When life becomes easier, I'll find peace. But this waiting never ends, because life does not stop moving. Situations arise. People behave unpredictably. Challenges return in different forms. If your peace depends on the world behaving a certain way, then your peace is always in danger. It will rise and fall with every wave outside of you. True peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of steadiness, even when problems remain. It is not a calm sea, but the ability to remain balanced on a moving boat. This kind of peace cannot be given by favorable conditions, and therefore it cannot be taken away by unfavorable ones. It is not reactive, but generated from within. It comes from something unshakable inside you, and that something must be nourished, strengthened, and protected through deliberate inner work. We live in a world that constantly pulls us outward, toward comparison, distraction, opinion, and fear. If you are not grounded in yourself, you will be pulled in every direction. Your mind will follow the noise, and your heart will follow the fluctuations of emotion. But inner peace is a choice that must be made again and again. It is the act of returning to center, no matter how far you've been pulled. This is not a one-time achievement. It is a way of living, one that values stillness even amidst motion. You must come to understand that nothing outside you has the power to create peace unless you have first planted it inside. You can be in a quiet place and still be tormented by thought. You can be in a storm and still feel deeply calm. This is why inner cultivation is essential. Practices like conscious breathing, mindful movement, silent reflection, they are not luxuries. They are disciplines that train the mind to stop seeking peace in unstable places. They teach you to build a home within yourself. And when that home is strong, the world outside no longer determines your state. You may still feel pain, anger, or fear, but you are no longer ruled by them. You experience them, and then you return to stillness, not because life became peaceful, but because you became peaceful. Peace is not given. It is practiced. And over time, that is the number R. It becomes not something you visit occasionally, but something you carry with you into every room, every situation, every challenge. Resilience is not built in moments of crisis. It is revealed in them. What carries you through difficulty is not willpower alone, but the quiet strength you've developed in ordinary moments. This strength comes from knowing yourself, from understanding your patterns, and from cultivating clarity. Daily reflection is the mirror that reveals your inner landscape. Without it, you move through life unconsciously, reacting, drifting, forgetting. But with it, you begin to see not just the world more clearly, but yourself. Each day gives you opportunities, not only to act, but to learn. When you reflect, you ask, where was I calm today? And where was I not? What stirred my mind? What allowed it to settle? These are not questions of judgment, but of awareness. The purpose is not to criticize, but to observe. Over time, these observations become insights. And those insights become anchors. You begin to recognize your triggers before they control you. You begin to meet your reactions with patience instead of force. Many avoid reflection because they are afraid of what they might find. But what is left unexamined does not disappear. It simply operates in the background, shaping your thoughts, your actions, your life, When you bring light to your inner world, you reclaim responsibility for it. Even small moments, how you responded to a delay, how you spoke to someone under stress, can teach you volumes. Resilience is built not by avoiding discomfort, but by understanding it one honest moment at a time. Reflection also humbles the mind. It reminds you that growth is a process. Some days you may fall into old habits. Other days you may feel more present and balanced. But through reflection, you remain connected to your journey. You stop chasing perfection and start cultivating presence. And presence is what keeps you steady when life becomes uncertain. The more often you return to yourself in stillness, the less shaken you are by the noise of the world. This is how resilience grows, rooted, not rigid. In this way, reflection becomes not just a habit, but a form of self-respect. You give yourself time each day to pause, to review, to learn, and to let go. You honor your inner life, not just your outer performance. You begin to see that peace is not passive. It is the result of consistent, conscious attention. Through reflection, you prepare your mind like a warrior prepares their weapon, not with urgency, but with devotion. And what is prepared daily becomes dependable in any circumstance.